Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Destiny 2. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and salutations. Today, be better at Gambit. Let's get to it.
Ever been up to the Leviathan? Cabal can be a hoot.
Gambit has been out since even before Forsaken came out, since it had that preview that one weekend.
Let's hunt some hostiles.
Now, if you have not played Gambit because you are intimidated, or if you've played Gambit but you've really had some mixed results, you've gotten stomped really bad, and sometimes you've done okay, this is for you. This is a beginner to intermediate guide for Gambit. So let's go over the ground rules for Gambit. It's PvE with some PvP elements. It is very straightforward, but very strategic. So you start off where you can taunt the other team. You get put into the arena, and when you begin, there's only AI, so there's only ads in the arena and your teammates. So there'll be a red flag where the enemies are at. There are 3 different areas that the enemies can be at, and then the central location where your bank is at. And that is also where heavy ammo will spawn. So if you don't get heavy ammo drops from the ads, you can get heavy ammo in the middle occasionally. It only pops up about every minute and a half, and only one person can get it. So do be considerate of your teammates and make sure that you're putting the heavy to good use. So you go to the ads, you take them out, they drop motes. Regular guys will drop 1, shielded guys drop more, and then the larger, more difficult guys drop even more. And if they are glowing white, that means that they are filled to the brim with motes, and they'll have 5 or more motes. And in the second and third round, there will be a high value target. You'll have to listen very carefully for it. It'll be a shielded guy that also is glowing, and if you take him out, he will drop around 13 motes altogether. So that's the mote part of it. Pick up the motes. You can hold up to 15 motes. When you get enough motes, however many motes that is, you take them back to the bank, put them in the bank, and that goes towards your score. And you're trying to get 75 motes as a team. Now, if you drop in 5 or more motes, you will be sending a blocker to the other side. The blockers prevent the other team from banking any motes. If you drop 5, it'll drop a taken phalanx to the other side. If you drop 10, it'll put a taken knight over to the other side, and 15 will send a taken ogre to the other side. So if you, all 4 of you drop 4 at the same, all 4 of you drop 5 at the same time, you'll send 4 phalanxes. So each one adds to the number of blockers that you send to the other side, which means, of course, the other team can do the same thing for you. Now, when you're looking at the top bars, you have your bar on the top left with some gray and blue. It'll be completely clear at the beginning. As you start picking up motes, it'll start filling up gray. When you bank, it'll start filling up blue. It'll replace that gray with blue. So as you pick up motes, the motes will increase on the bar as gray, so it shows picked up, and it also shows picked up on the enemy team on the top right. And once you get 25 motes, you can send 1 person from your team over to invade the other side. Now that doesn't sound like very good odds, but the attacker will go over with an overshield, and so they have a better chance against 4 enemy players And the idea is to get the motes off those players by killing them. So every player you kill, their motes will drop and they'll lose them. So you're going to go over there. If you're going over there, only one person can go over. If you go over, you're going to look for the people that have the most motes and take them out. However that is. Now, they will know when you're invading, just like you'll know when someone's invading on your side. The screen will go red. The drifter will tell you there's an invader. On the left-hand side, there'll be a countdown. They have 30 seconds, just like you have 30 seconds to do as much damage as possible. Take out all 4 players on the other side, and you'll be sent back. Now, you can send people over 2 different times. They're gated at 25 and 50. Once the other team calls their primeval, once you bank 75, you call the primeval. So if the other team banks 75, then the portal will open and you can keep on invading. So there's a 30-second window where you can invade, and then you get sent back, and then there's a cooldown from when you get sent back until the time when it opens up again, about 15 seconds. So there is a cooldown before the portal will open again, and it just doesn't stay open all the time. Now when you get your primeval, the other team can do the same thing to you. They can keep sending people over. Now there is a cooldown for them as well, and there is a notification towards the bottom left that says that the enemy portal is active. So you do have a heads up ahead of time before someone comes over. Now when you bring up your primeval, if you are the first one to do it, make sure to take out the wizards. There are 2 wizards. No matter what happens, there are always 2 wizards on either side of the primeval, along with the other adds. So you summon the primeval, you summon 2 wizards, and then a bunch of adds as well. When you take out the wizards, you get a buff. It is called Primeval Slayer, and it goes from 1 all the way up until 10. So Primeval Slayer times 2 times 3 all the way up to times 10. After you take out the wizards, you'll start getting that buff. So if you're the first person or first team to pull up the primeval, make sure to take out the wizards to get that buff. Now, if the other team happens to get the primeval first, then you're going to want to take out the primeval. If you are able to take out the wizards quickly, do so. But don't spend a lot of time trying to take out the wizards when you're already behind. Take out the primeval without worrying about the wizard.
Small blocker outbound.
Now hopefully this helps you out in your Gambit matches. Now the Gambit matches are best of 3. So once one team or the other gets 2 wins, that's it. So 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, however many rounds it takes to get the win. Now in Gambit matches, you have a small, very, very small chance of pulling a taken servitor as a primeval. Now if your team is the one to kill it first, you have a excellent chance of getting the Malfeasance quest. That's the exotic hand cannon. That's the only way to get it. There is a very, very, very small percentage to actually pull it. If you do, you want to burn that primeval down very, very quickly if you have not gotten the Malfeasance quest yet.
Portal is primed. Lock and load.
But that's it. That is the nuts and bolts of Gambit. Now, one more thing about strategy. This, like I said, this is for beginners to intermediates. It doesn't make any sense to hold on to motes once you get 15. You can't pick any more up, so you have to bank them. If you're waiting for your other teammates to get 15, you might be waiting for a while. The best thing to do is to communicate with the other members on your team. If you have 3 members that are also in a party chat, it will be very, very easy for you to communicate and tell everyone, and everyone can communicate with you and say what is going on. Now, the important thing about dropping motes is that you don't always have to do 5 or 10 or 15. If you have 6 motes, you can drop those. If you have 8, you can bank those. You don't always have to go and round up. Say, oh, well, I have 7, so I have to go and get 3 more so I can get 10. No, because the important thing is banking at the correct time. If you see the other team is holding on to a bunch of motes and you're holding on to some motes, it is best to bank them, because what is going to happen is the other team is going to bank their motes, and then you're going to have a blocker. If they're able to bank 25 motes all at once, you'll have multiple blockers and a possible invader, so you'll have a problem getting to the bank to bank your motes, and there's a possibility that the invader will be able to take you out. So banking at the right time, banking with strategy in mind. So you have to be aware of how many motes you're carrying, if your bank is open or not, how many motes the other team has already banked, and how many that they're holding on to. The more they hold on to and the closer they get to that threshold of 25 or 50, the more you should be concerned about getting those motes off of you and into the bank. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to ring the bell before you leave to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. And thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and we'll see you next time.
You're close. Fill the bank, you get a primeval. Hostiles inbound at steps. Get those motes to the bank. It's time for a primeval. Invader inbound. Hunt him. Invader's gone. Get him next time. Primeval's here. Kill it and win this. Incoming! You're ahead! Invader down! You're clear. Primeval compromised. Burn it down! Invader on the field. Careful. Round's over. Your opponent took their primeval down. Guardian down.